let's see here. You know, I always come out here and I do my little thing, and I do my little tricks, but today, I'm going to try to do something a little bit differently. I want to turn somebody else into a magician. But before I do that, now that I have your attention, the person sitting up the tallest, their hands raised the highest and the quietest, gets to be the brave volunteer. Let's see here. High up there. Let's see him. Alright, let's see here. You really want to be a magician, don't you? Okay. Let's get rid of that. Face the audience. What is your name? What was that? Ranger. Let's give Ranger a big round of applause. Now, Ranger, you and I are going to show everybody how to do a simple little magic trick, okay? And, well, that's okay. You don't need to know anything. Here's what I'm going to do. Every magician knows how to wave a magic wand. So that's the first thing I'm going to teach you how to do, okay? Now, repeat after me and do exactly what I'm doing. Be careful. These things are dangerous. Okay, hold out your left hand like this. There you go. And wave around it very... There you go. See, he's getting into it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Should I trust Ranger over here with my little magic wand?
I don't know.
Did you turn one of you into a little frog now? Well, tell you what. You know, magic wands are really expensive, and they're hard to come by. And I have something I know you cannot break right over here. Ladies and gentlemen, the plot, rubber chicken of mystery. That's right. No. This is no ordinary chicken. It does lots of tricks. For example, I have no idea how he does that. If you would, hold on to the chicken for me. Now let's see how you would wave the magic wand / chicken. Go ahead, give it a try. All right, perfect. All right, that's pretty good. You and I are going to cause this little handkerchief to disappear. Now, before I begin, everybody says, "Oh, it's up your sleeve." You know what I say to you people? Up yours. Just kidding. No, it's not going up the sleeve. It's not going on the ground. You will make the magic happen, okay? Watch. All I'm going to do is I'm going to place the handkerchief into my hand, and on the count of 3, you will wave the magic chicken. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, wait. Wait a second. That's give a big round of applause. I bet you're all wondering how that was done. I will keep my promise to you. I will teach you how to do this miracle, okay? Now stand right over here, because you get to see it first, okay? Look at that. See that? Well, you need a couple of things. You need a little red handkerchief that starts out in your right pants pocket, okay? You also need a brave volunteer by the name of Ranger, or what have you. And you also need the egg. Of course, I should explain to you all. But this is no ordinary egg. No. It is plastic. And on the other side, there's a hole. And inside the hole, we find another little red handkerchief. Now, that explains a lot now, doesn't it, Ranger? Yeah, well, it gets a little bit more complicated than that. You see, before we begin, magicians have a technique of hiding things in their hands. They refer to it as palming. And this is the way I do it. You just have to keep both hands the exact same way, very naturally, so that nobody should suspect a thing, that there's anything hidden in your hands or anything like that. Very natural, right? So you keep both hands the same manner. Okay, you're not buying this, no. Good. All right, well, make sure you don't reveal the egg ahead of time. The handkerchief could start out in the top hat, in your pocket, wherever. When you're ready to begin, say I have a terrific trick to show you. All I really need is a red handkerchief. Go over to your top hat and reach in and remove the handkerchief. Then proceed to place the handkerchief inside the hole, inside the egg. Be careful not to expose the egg in your hand while you're doing this. Okay, and just make sure you get all of it in there. If half of it is hanging out like this, that's a problem. Okay, you want all of it to fit inside. And once it's all inside, grab the chicken. Okay, with the magic chicken. Go ahead. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. And Ranger has turned the handkerchief into the egg, And the handkerchief is once again inside my pocket. Thank you very much. Take a bow, Andrew. Chicken for a moment, because you see, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. When you go home and you try this, where are you going to get an egg like that, and what if you mess up? Because sometimes people do notice the egg inside your hand, and sometimes people do notice the hole. And that's a problem that we're going to have to fix, okay? Just wave the magic chicken one last time. And that allows me to peel that hole right off. And break it open. Now, I need another volunteer, but we'll do this a little differently, okay? I want this to be completely random, so what I will do is I'm going to toss the chicken into the audience, okay? Don't fight for it. If it comes your way, grab it. Don't let it hit you in the head, okay? That's important. And I want you guys to toss it 5 times, from person to person, and the person left holding the chicken on the fifth throw will be my next, volunteer. Here we go, on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. That's toss number 1. This guy. 2. 4. 5. Okay, come on up. Let's see. Okay, you and I are going to do a card trick, okay? You can drop the chicken. And by the way, don't ever do this again with the chicken. You know why? Because you just flipped the bird to everybody in the audience, and that's not a nice thing to do. So, this is an ordinary deck of cards, okay? You can see all of the cards are different, correct? Everybody can see that. Step right up over here. If you would, step right over here, or in the front. And you will pick one out and show it to the audience. But just grab one. Okay, fine. This is not an ordinary deck of cards. I have that over here. Don't worry, don't worry. Alright, let's see here. I have that stuff. Right over here. This is an ordinary deck of cards. All the cards are indeed different, as you can see. Right? They are indeed all different. This is the type of cards that you can purchase at any magic shop. Just kidding. No, but once you take a look at those, examine them, show them to the audience. And while she does that, I will take out a marker. Because this time, not only will you take out a card, you will actually sign your name across it, okay? So if you would, reach in there, select any card you want, okay? And while my back is turned, slowly show it to the audience, okay? Go ahead. You got it? Everybody can see the card? Okay, now hide it from me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Hide it. Okay, you got it? Now, with this Sharpie, the marker, on the face of the card, which is this side, I would like you to write your name very big and legible so that you can recognize it later on. Okay? Go ahead, don't let me see it. And while she's doing that, I will entertain you with these fancy card moves. Isn't that cool? You want to see that again? You know, I could do it a bit more interesting way. You can do that behind my back. Watch. Oh, back up. Oh. And she's ready. Okay, can I have the pen back? I'm not a wealthy man. Thank you. Now, if you would, please, once again, show your card to the audience with your name or picture, what have you on it. So you all know that even if I did have a card that looked like that, no other card in the world now has that same signature on it. It looks the exact same way. Now, if you would, somewhere in the middle, just call stop. Just yell it out. Okay, place your card right back there. And I'll show it to you guys one last time to make sure everybody got a good look at the card that she selected, okay? That's very important. Because one time I was working in a restaurant, it was late in the evening actually, and everybody forgot their, the card, and so that wouldn't be fun, would it? This way, since you signed your card, if it was to come to the top of the deck, you would know, wouldn't you? And there's your card, the Ace of Clubs, right? No. You did sign it though, right? You signed it? Okay, well, it went to the bottom. Is that it? Did you clean up things? Well, you blew that one, didn't you? No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. We all make mistakes. I including my mother, but I guess you already knew that. I'm going to attempt to do something very dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home. I'm going to attempt to do something called sleight of tongue. You've heard of sleight of hand? Well, I'm going to attempt to do sleight of tongue. But first, for some warm-up exercises, watch carefully. This is very practical. Watch. Look at that, folded into force and covered in slobber. Is that your card with your name on it? Thank you very much. I know what you're thinking. These cards have been in a nasty, nasty place. Will I ever use these cards again? Of course. The next group of people won't know any better now, will they?
No!
Don't worry. I won't even touch them either. In fact, that's what this little bag is for, and this piece of rope. And in a moment from now, let's see here. All sticky. We're going to have somebody from a little bit from the back help out with this, okay? And so you don't have to come up and touch anything. You with the green shirt, you have your hand up. If you would, I'm going to spread the cards out like this, and I'm going to riffle them like that, okay? Anytime you like, you call stop, and that's where I'm going to stop. If you want to change your mind, feel free to do so. Okay, you ready? Right there. Would you like me to go one card more? No, you want this one. Okay. I want everybody to look at the card. I don't want to see it. Everybody has the card memorized?
Yeah.
And look, the cards have no markings on the back to tell me which card it was. Okay, so that's her card. I'll place it right back in the middle like so. And rather than me touch it, I will toss the cards bit by bit into the bag. I'm going to shuffle them up. This is the complicated shuffle I know how to do. Okay, they're pretty well mixed up in there. And you know, a couple hundred years ago, if I was to perform for you what I do now, I would be escorted by a lovely group of gentlemen armed with pitchforks and torches out into the woods, and I'd either be tied up and burned at the stake or hanged from a tree. So I'm sad to say there will be a hanging this afternoon, but don't worry, it won't be any of you. One of my 52 assistants will give their life for your entertainment gratification. Thank you very much. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'll leave those right now. Watch carefully. I do absolutely nothing, but I do it very well. Watch. Okay, now I will attempt to make one knot tie itself in the middle of the deck around your card and your card only, without me touching anything. Watch. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. For the first time,
Oh my.
could you please name the card that you selected, please? What was it? It's 5. Of course. Thank you very much. Okay, and now I'd like to show you my personal favorite trick in the world. I do this everywhere. This is actually the trick that I performed at the Magic Castle. And now you guys get to see it, hopefully for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2 ropes of mystery. Watch very carefully. This is a piece of rope. And this rope, just like all ropes, of course, there's a knot in it, sorry, has 2 ends, obviously, and 1 middle, like so. But this is a magic show, so it doesn't have to be that way. Watch. You can actually get 3 ends, and yet still have 1 middle. Now, if it's possible to get 3 ends and have 1 middle, then it's also possible to get, you guessed it, 4 ends, and yet still have 1 middle. Now, if you think about it, this is pretty weird. Because these 2 ends are not in the proper place. If these 2 ends were down there, that would add up. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. Because with those 2 ends down there, and 2 over here, this would only make sense if they were indeed 2 ropes. Thank you very much for that thunderous. Now, if I tie the first one into a loop like so, and I do the second one the exact same way, how many loops do I have? Good job, you guys took your calculator, I see. Alright, well, wouldn't you be amazed if I could cause one single big loop to emerge out of the 2? Well, let's see here. And there you are. Thank you. Very sure you can do the trick, but can I do the trick? Yes. In fact, if you know how to tie your shoes, you already know how to tie a knot. Now this is a knot. Now watch, because now it's not. I wrote the whole thing for that line, therefore it stays. Hold on, give me applause. Where was I? Oh yeah, let's see here. I believe I had a single big loop here, like this. Yeah, that's where I was. Okay, now I need somebody big, buff, and burly to help me out from the audience. If you're close by, you don't have to get up. Just, here's what I'm going to do. Show us your fist. Hold it up in the air like Hercules that you are. Go ahead, do that. Hold up your fist, just like this, just like I'm doing. It's your right or left hand, you can choose. The clean one. Alright, just hold on to it. Are you holding on tight? A little higher, so everybody can see. Okay, you're holding tight. Are you pulling on it? Are you pulling? That doesn't mean pull. Wait a second. Over here we have the 2 ends of the rope. And over here we have the middle without the ends. Obviously a problem that you created. We're going to fix this together. No problem, no worries. All I need is the magic breath. Go ahead, blow on it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, that fuse melts the rope back together again. The 2 ropes of mystery. Now, the most famous rope trick of all time is called a cut and restore. Can anybody guess what's about to happen? Let's see here. Unfortunately, I seem to have forgotten my scissors today, but that's okay. I'm a professional, and therefore I can fake it. Wow! So look at that. 2 pieces of rope, completely identical in length. That's okay, no problem, because the length does not matter. Now, I keep pulling on the long one. This one keeps getting shorter, but the other one keeps getting longer. And now we're almost back to where we were just a moment ago, because once again we have the long piece, and once again we have the small piece. Now who'd like to examine the long piece? How about somebody in the back who hasn't helped out yet? I'll just toss this out there. Catch it as it's coming towards you. You got it? Make sure there are no magnets in the ends. It's not made out of bubble gum. It doesn't stretch. It's just a piece of cotton cord. All right. While she's doing that, I will entertain you with this small, limp piece of rope. Watch. All I do is I make a loop like so. Pull the end through the loop. That, of course, technically should create a knot. And that knot should not come off. Unless, of course, you rub it the right way. No, look, wait, hold on. Do you see that little curve in the rope? That's because the knot is still there. See? It's actually on the inside. There's a little bump that you can feel. Now to turn it back side in, all you have to do is give it one little shake. And that reforms the knot back side in. Who'd like to examine the small piece for me? How about somebody over here? Take a look at that. Make sure it doesn't stretch, no trapdoors, lions, ducks, tigers, or midgets hidden inside that piece of rope. And while he's doing that, I will entertain you with part 2 of the ropes of mystery. Now I'll be slightly more honest with you, but not completely. This is still a piece of rope. This is still a loop, but when I pull the end through the loop, technically that should create a knot. But this in magic is what we like to call a slip knot. You know why? Because it slips from that end of the rope to this end of the rope if you want it to. Or if you prefer, you can actually take that knot and slide it all the way up. Like so. So over here I have the knots. Over here I have the rope. Now that's the easy part. The hard part is putting it back. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And it's just that easy to take it right back off. Now who'd like to examine the middle-sized piece? How about you there? Okay, now who has the long piece? If you could just toss it up. Perfect. Now, in your own words, can you loudly verify for everybody that this is an ordinary piece of rope? The ends don't have magnets in them, it doesn't come apart or stretch or anything, it's an ordinary piece of rope. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Now, if I gather up the ends of the rope, once, like so, twice, and perhaps even 3 times, and if I say the magic words, or whatever words come to mind. Should not get 1 knot, but we actually get 3 knots. Now I want you to see that these are real, genuine knots. They don't slide, they don't come apart. Here's knot number 1. Here's knot number 2. And here's knot number 3. Now, you've been paying close attention, right? So repeat after me. Okay, make up any magic words you want. Abracadabra? Well, that's original. It doesn't work either. I'm just kidding. If I give it one little shake just like that, you'll actually see all the knots dissolve one by one. Thank you very much. Now, who has the middle side piece? And the small piece. That would be... Oh, it disappeared. Okay. You guys have it? You just toss it up? Great. Thank you. Now, often I perform for restaurants in the evening, and I have to mention this because people have failed to notice this, and then the trick doesn't really work. So I have to stress this just a little bit. This piece is long. This piece is short. That is important now, otherwise the rest of the trick will be even more pointless. This piece is neither long nor short, but it's rather in the middle, which is exactly where it goes. All that's left is to gather up the ends of the long piece, of the middle-sized piece, and the small piece. And now the rope will stretch, and stretch, and stretch, until they're all identical in length. But I don't expect you to take my word for it, so I will actually count them for you. Here's rope number 1. It doesn't stretch, doesn't shrink. There's rope number 1. And now rope number 1 is also the same length as rope number 2, which also doesn't stretch or shrink. And rope number 2 is exactly the same length as rope number 3, which also doesn't stretch or shrink. And I hope that confused you just a little bit, because if I bring up an opposite end like so, give it 3 snaps. Once again, we are left with the small piece. Once again, we are left with the middle-sized piece. And once again, we are left with the long piece. Now, hold your applause. Hold on. Because in the beginning, if you recall, I said this was the mystery of the 2 ropes. And obviously, I'm using 3. So I must conclude, as originally intended, by putting these 2 pieces back together again, by pushing the little one back inside the longer one. Watch.
Something's happening.
Patience is a virtue. And now we are left with a knot. Of course, if you undo that, you are left with a rope. Thank you very much. I bet you're all wondering what a top hat is for. Well, you know, when I was growing up, I saw magicians pull rabbits out of hats and things like that, and I always wanted to be different. So I went out into my backyard, I heard some noises in the yard, and then over by the trash can I saw this raccoon. So it was a little baby raccoon, and I trained it ever since it was a baby, and he has lots of tricks, but I'm sad to inform all of you, he's no longer in the act because, well, he peed in the top hat, and it's a, free raccoon, $200 top hat, you do the math. So anyway, I took him home, and I stuffed him. Not to worry, he's not real, but he sure looks real, doesn't he? Oh, isn't he cute? You know, oh, good job. You know, like I said, he does do magic tricks, and here's the best one in the house. Stay. And he doesn't need treats. Isn't that great? Oh, don't worry. Would you like to pet him? Whoa! I'm sorry. All right, you can just toss him up. Oh, okay, Rocky. You're a bad boy. Alright, that's not good. But you know, that he likes you. Don't you, Rocky? Oh, you know, one time I was performing with him in the restaurant, and one of the waitresses actually came up to me and told me that I couldn't have live animals in the restaurant. So you know what I told them, right? No problem. Thank you. Okay. How many of you have ever studied magic or read a book maybe on magic, since this is the summer reading program? Do you have a book on magic? Does anybody know where magic comes from?
No.
Well, there are lots of different theories, but a lot of the people saying, historians say, that magic comes from Egypt. And we know this because there are hieroglyphics in the pyramids depicting Nile magicians performing this very same trick. This trick is over 5,000 years old, and it was actually the first trick I actually performed, even back in Lyman Gilmore when I used to go there. So I'd like to show you my version of it now, and the idea is always the same. The magician would use a little red ball and 3 opaque, solid metal cups. Now the reason that the cups are opaque is so that you can't see which cup is covering the ball. And I'll do this as slowly as I can do it. Perhaps you recognize versions of these being played in the streets of New York with 3 nutshells and a little key. But people would guess where the ball is. It would disappear and it would reappear where it's least likely. People have been known to lose articles of clothing or houses playing this little game. But for those of you that are a little bit more visual, I'll do it this way. You see it jump across? Watch, I'll give it 2 twists like this. And now it's back over here. So how is this possible, you might ask? Well, you see there's another one. And there's a third one right over there. Thank you. And that is actually the way it was played traditionally in Egypt. Instead of spun metal cups like I have, they would use clay pots and pebbles. I'm using little red balls of yarn. Yeah, little cotton balls. But the game was always played the same way. The magician would take the ball, place it in his hand, wave the wand, and the ball would disappear. Even then, people thought that perhaps the balls were rolling around on the ground, or they were up the magician's sleeve. But that's not the case. All it takes is a little wave, and the little red ball disappears. Last ball, ball number 3. Just a squeeze, wave. Well, that's okay. I forgot to wave? Okay, I'll do it this way. I'll give it a really big wave just like that. Watch. That's ball number 3. 3 gone. And yet 3 remain. Thank you. It came to my attention that if you took one of the little red balls, if you place one on top, it appears as though solid goes straight through solid. Keep in mind, these are solid metal cups. I'll do that one last time, just for you. With this ball right here, watch. You're fired. Okay, there you go. See that? And that's enough for all 3 balls. Thank you. Why on earth am I using these cups? Well, the only reason that I have these cups is because they're meant for covering the little balls. That's all they're meant for. Ball number 1 goes underneath cup number 1. Ball number 2 goes underneath cup number 2. Ball number 3 goes underneath cup number 3. And yet, if I go like this, give a snap, these 2 disappear, and now there's 3 once more in the middle. Thank you. But I made that happen, so this time somebody else is going to make it happen, okay? Let's see, you haven't helped out yet. If you were going to have to get up, you get a choice. Point to any cup you want on the table. Just yell it out. Which one do you want? You want the middle one? Okay, watch. Okay, I will remove the ball from the middle cup. Where would you like me to place it? To the right cup or the left cup? This one? If it works, this cup is now empty as promised. And now there are 2 balls underneath that. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. What if you would have picked the other cup? Well, unfortunately for me, this trick always works. There would still be 2 balls underneath that cup. This cup would still be empty. There would only be 1 ball underneath that cup. Now keep your eyes on the 2 balls. You see the secret with the cups and balls is that the little balls, they don't like to be alone. They always find their friends, no matter where they are. Was that a little too fast? I'll slow it down. Okay, I'll slow it down. I can't do this any more fair than this. 3 cups, 3 balls. Now in the beginning I said this is normally played as a gambling type thing, with 1 ball and 3 objects to cover the pea or the ball or anything like that. So I'll put these away one at a time. This one right here will stay inside my pocket. That leaves me with just 2. And this one right here will stay inside my pocket. Now, how many balls do you think are underneath the center cup? 3. I haven't done anything yet. Look, there's a lot of them. But did you see this one come back? See, there is one over there. So how did that ball jump back? Well, you see, I never really placed it inside my pocket. I never really placed it inside my hand. And therefore, it never really went inside the pocket. But while everybody's watching the pocket and what I'm doing over here, you don't notice what I'm doing out in front. I actually tipped the cup over like this, and it appears that the ball was underneath the cup the entire time. Of course, that was a cheat, and we know better, don't we? Okay, so who yelled that out last time? How many balls do you think are underneath the center cup? 1? That's close. 3. Okay. Well, I don't know how that happened. Did you know I became a magician just so I know how to do this? Anyway, perhaps some of you are thinking there's an extra ball somewhere. And there actually is an extra ball. There's an extra ball right over here. Right over there. There's a 3rd ball. Right over there. Careful. It's dangerous. Okay. Well, it's almost lunchtime for me. Who's hungry? Everybody's hungry, right? Well, I actually brought my lunch here with me today. And we're gonna play a little guessing game. I don't want you to know what I had just yet. So I will actually draw something on here, and as soon as you think you know what it is, just yell it out.
It's straw.
Ah, good call.
I love McDonald's food, and I recognize that.
That's right. Now, magicians do lots of things. They make things appear, disappear. The one thing that good magicians all know how to do is predict the future. And that's exactly what this is. This is a prediction. Well, have you ever noticed that when you go to McDonald's, how the drinks keep getting larger? I mean, the burgers are still the same size, maybe even smaller. But the drinks keep getting larger and larger and larger, and more expensive too. Well, I have a prediction here that 40 years from now, the cups will be so big that you will need gigantic straws to drink out of them. Yes. And how big? Well, let me show it to you. Enjoy your meals, and there are also business cards in the back of the room if you're interested. I'm here till the end of the summer, and during most of the vacations during the year, such as Christmas. So if you have any events coming up, there are business cards in the back. And other than that, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you.